As family, for a purpose to build a great enterprise. We are bonded in one heart as family, for a purpose to build a great enterprise. We are accountable, resilient, adaptable, browsing nature, excellent leaders. We are accountable, resilient, adaptable, nature, excellent leaders.
We're a people undivided with massive growth, almighty, sustaining, a leading brand. Our God is His to our community. Our governance undisputably the best, accountable, resilient, adaptable, diversity, excellent, great leadership. We pride ourselves in the spirit that we own. Our ideal holdings energize all the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time is just past 10 o'clock. This meeting is holding in accordance with Section 237, subsection 1 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, In addition, Section 256, subsection 2 of requires that we have at least 25 members represented in person or via proxies for the meeting to be considered duly convened, subject to confirmation of the same by the registrars of our company. It is important to note that this proceeding is also being streamed live on both Zoom and YouTube. Will the registrar kindly confirm that we do indeed have a quorum for the meeting?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, directors, and esteemed shareholders. My name is Mary Adeleye, and I represent Coronation Registrars Limited, registrars to Aradel Holdings PLC. We have 252 shareholders attending by proxy and 176 shareholders physically present, with a combined total of 2,291,359,720 shares, representing 52.73% of the issued and fully paid up shares of the company. With this information, we hereby confirm that a quorum has been formed in accordance with the above stated Section 256, subsection 2 of CAMA. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I now have the pleasure of welcoming you to our company's 30th annual general meeting, and I hereby declare this meeting duly convened. To start us off, will Rita Olarewaju kindly give us a brief opening prayer?
In Jesus' name. Father and our God, we thank you for the opportunity to be at the 30th annual general meeting of our great company, Aradel Holdings PLC. Lord, we pray that you guide us through the deliberations and that you grant wisdom to the board and to the attendees and members and shareholders. Lord, that your name will be glorified in this session, and that at the end of the day, the company will continue to grow higher and to greater heights. In Jesus' name.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Ladi Jadesimi, the chairman of our company. I now call on the other directors, the company secretary, the chairman of the statutory audit committee, the external auditors, and the representatives of the various regulatory bodies to kindly introduce themselves.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and esteemed shareholders. My name is Adegbite Falade, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of our company.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and esteemed shareholders. My name is Adegbola Adeshino, and I'm the Chief Financial Officer of the company.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and esteemed shareholders. My name is Afolabi Oladele. I am a non-executive director of our company, representing African Capital Alliance.
Wait, yeah, please, can the others just carry on, please?
Yes.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and esteemed shareholders. My name is Austin Olorun-Shola, and I'm a non-executive director of our company.
Assistant Non-Executive Director of our company.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and esteemed shareholders. My name is Titilola Omishore, and I'm the Company Secretary.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and esteemed shareholders. My name is Olufemi Akinsanya, and I'm the Chairman of the Statutory Audit Committee.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and esteemed shareholders. My name is Sheun Ejodame, and I'm here with my colleague Ayodeji Ojo, representing Deloitte and Touche, the external auditors of your company.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Commission, SEC. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Peggy Halidi, representing Nigerian Exchange Limited.
Thank you all. I now call on the Secretary to the company to read the formal notice convening this meeting.
Good morning once again, esteemed shareholders. First, I wish to confirm that the notice convening this meeting was circulated to everyone entitled to notification in accordance with Section 2411 and 261 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act. Notice is hereby given that the 30th Annual General Meeting of the members of Aradel Holdings PLC will hold at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, 28th of May, 2025, at the Jewel Aida Event Center, located at 105 Hakeem Dixon Link Road, Lekki Phase 1, Lagos, to transact the following business. Ordinary business. 1, to lay before the members of the company the audited financial statements for the financial year ended 31st December 2024, and the reports of the auditors, directors, and the audit committee respectively. To declare a final dividend. To re-elect directors retiring by rotation, being Mr. Afolabi Oladele, a non-executive director, Ms. Patricia Simon Hart, an independent non-executive director, and Mr. Olugbenga Aditoro, another non-executive director. To ratify the appointment of Ms. Karen Jane Gunter as a non-executive director. To reappoint the external auditors, Messrs. Deloitte and Touche. To authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the external auditors, and to elect or re-elect, as the case may be, members of the Statutory Audit Committee. Special business. To approve the remuneration of the non-executive directors. To consider, and if thought fit, pass the following as special resolutions of the company. 1, the expansion of the Board of Directors membership from 9 to 11, such that the Articles of Association of the company will be duly amended to state that the Board of the company shall consist of no more than 11 directors at any given time. B, amendment of the company's Articles of Association, that the Articles of Association of the company shall be amended to include the following paragraphs in alignment with Appendix 7 of the Nigerian Exchange Rulebook of 2015. 1. That the fully paid-up shares shall be free from all liens, except as otherwise prescribed by operation of law. 2. That the borrowing powers of the directors are limited, so that the aggregate amount at any time owing in respect of monies borrowed by the company and its subsidiary companies, exclusive of intercompany borrowings, shall not exceed a reasonable amount, except with the consent of the company in general meeting. 3. That a director shall not vote on any contract, arrangement, or proposal in which he is interested, and if he does vote, that vote will not be counted. 4. That the structure of the share capital of the company be stated, and where the capital consists of more than one class of security, it must also be stated how the various classes shall rank for any distribution by way of dividend or otherwise. 5. That where the power is reserved to give notice by advertisement, such advertisement shall be inserted in at least 2 leading national daily newspapers. 6. That where it is provided that notices shall be given only to those members whose registered addresses are within Nigeria, any member whose registered address is not within Nigeria may name an address within Nigeria, which for the purpose of notice shall be considered as the registered address. Pursuant to Section 2781 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the attainment of 70 years of age by 3 directors is hereby disclosed. Said directors are the chairman, Mr. Ladi Jadesimi, non-executive director, Mr. Afolabi Oladile, and another non-executive director, Mr. Ede Osayode. This is hereby disclosed. Notes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Voting on items on the agenda of this meeting will be by poll, except for the Statutory Audit Committee election, which will be by electronic count. The chairman's statement and that of the managing director, CEO, are contained on pages 12 to 13 and 14 to 16, respectively, of the annual report and accounts. As the managing director, CEO, will be making a full presentation to the members and having circulated the annual report and accounts earlier to all shareholders, may I crave your indulgence that we take both statements as read. Thank you. I would now like to formally lay before the meeting the company's audited and consolidated financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2024, together with the reports of the directors, auditors, and the audit committee thereon. The next item on the agenda is a report of the external auditors of the on the company's financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2024. May I therefore invite the representative of Deloitte Touche to present their report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. With your permission, Mr. Chairman, and the esteemed shareholders, I would like to take just the first 2 sections and the last section of the statutory audit report. Thank you. Independent Auditor's Report to the shareholders of Ardell Holdings PLC. Oh, apologies, page 71. Yes. Opinion. We have audited the consolidated and separate financial statements of Ardell Holdings PLC and its subsidiaries, the company and group, set out on pages 76 to 125, which comprise the consolidated and separate statement of financial position as at 31 December 2024, the consolidated and separate statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the consolidated and separate statement of changes in equity, and consolidated and separate statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and the notes to the consolidated and separate financial statements, including a summary of material accounting policies. In our opinion, the consolidated and separate financial statements give a true and fair view of the consolidated and separate financial position of Ardell Holdings PLC and its subsidiaries as at 31 December 2024, and its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with IFRS accounting standards as issued by the International Accounting Standards Board, the requirements of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Amendment Act 2023. Basis of opinion. We conducted our audits in accordance with International Standards on Auditing, ISAs. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the consolidated and separate financial statement section of our report. We are independent of the company and group in accordance with the requirements of the International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants, the ISBA International Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, including International Independent Standards, the ISBA Code, and other independent requirements applicable to performing audits of financial statements in Nigeria. We have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with the ISBA Code and other ethical requirements that are relevant to our audit of consolidated and separate financial statements in Nigeria. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. So I'm now moving on to page 74, and I'll read the section of reports on other legal and regulatory requirements. In accordance with the 5th schedule of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, we expressly state that we have obtained all the information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. The group and company have kept proper books of accounts so far as appears from our examination of those books. And the group and company's financial position and its statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts and returns. In accordance with the requirements of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Amendment Act 2023, we performed a limited assurance engagement and reported on management assessment of the group's internal control over financial reporting as of 31 December 2024. The work performed was done in accordance with FRC guidance on assurance engagement reports on internal controls over financial reporting. And we have issued a report with no exception in our reports dated 28 March 2025. The report is included on pages 69 to 70 of the consolidated and separate financial statement, signed by Abraham Udenani, FCA, for Deloitte and Touche, Chartered Accountants, Lagos, Nigeria, 28 March 2025. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sharon Ejodame, for Deloitte Touche. Now, may I invite the chairman of our Statutory Audit Committee, Mr. Femi Akinsanya, to please present the committee's report.
Report of the Audit Committee to the members of Ardell Holdings PLC. The report is on page 65 of this document. In accordance with the statutory requirement of provisions of Section 404, subsection 7 of Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, we, the members of the Audit Committee of Ardell Holdings PLC, having carried out our statutory functions under the Act, hereby confirm that the accounting and reporting policies of the group and company are in accordance with legal requirements and agreed ethical practices. In our opinion, 1, the accounting and reporting policies of Aradel Holdings PLC, as contained in the company's audited financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2024, are in accordance with the relevant financial reporting framework and agreed ethical practices. 2, the scope and planning of the audit for the year ended 31st December 2024 were adequate. 3, the auditor's findings on management matters and management's responses thereto were satisfactory. 4, we have kept under review the effectiveness of the company's system of accounting and internal controls. In our opinion, the scope and planning of the audit for the year ended 31st December 2024, together with the consolidated and separate audited financial statements, were satisfactory. The external auditors had discharged their duties conscientiously and satisfactorily. We were satisfied with executive management's responses to the auditor's findings. Signed by myself, Olufemi Akinsanya, on 26th March 2025. Members of the Audit Committee for the year, apart from myself as Chairman and Shareholder Representative, were Edi Efekoha, Shareholder Representative, Afolabi Oladile, Board Representative, Bola Akinyola, Shareholder Representative, and Ede Osanyode, Board Representative. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Akinsanya. The audited financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2024 commences from page 63 of the annual report and the reports of the directors, auditors, and the Statutory Audit Committee have now been presented to you all. At this point, I would like to invite our CEO, Mr. Adegbite Falade, to make a brief presentation about our company's affairs comprehensively. Thank you.
Esteemed shareholders of Aradel Holdings PLC, the chairman and members of the board of directors, the chairman and members of the statutory audit committee, regulators here present, representatives of the registrar, coronation registrars, representatives of the external auditor, Deloitte and Touche, management and staff of Aradel Holdings here present, physically and online, members of the fourth realm of the estate, the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm most delighted to address you at this 30th annual general meeting of our company, taking place here at the Jewel Aida Event Center at number 105 Akin Dixon Lake Road, Lekki Phase 1, Lagos, under the theme, Sustaining Momentum. A theme that describes where we stood as at the end of 2024 in the context of this phase of our corporate existence. The 2024 annual report and accounts have extensively documented the state of affairs of our company in the financial year that ended in December 2024. Therefore, I will spare you the elaborate details of that period. I shall, however, crave your indulgence to share key highlights that summarize our operational and financial performances within the period, and also to provide a perspective on where we are from the commencement of the year 2025 to date, and with a modest outlook on what to expect for the rest of the year and beyond. Looking at 2024 in context, globally, our industry experienced significant growth and innovation in 2024. This was driven primarily by increased exploration and extraction activities, the adoption of advanced technologies, and rising global demand for energy. Asia, led by India and China, drove demand growth by about 6%, while Latin America, particularly Brazil, Argentina, and Guyana, attracted significant investments. The key statistics for Africa was the continued leverage of its liquefied natural gas resources to meet Europe's growing energy demands, the exit of Angola from OPEC, and that decision carrying certain potentials to further reshape oil supply dynamics. Nationally, Nigeria's average daily oil and gas, or daily oil and condensate production in 2024 stood at about 1.56 million barrels per day, which is a 6% improvement over the 1.47 million barrels per day average performance in 2023. This slight increase is in part due to increased rig counts, especially towards the end of the year, and significant improvements made in curtailing losses that was prevalent in the years prior. Better than both the national and global growths, our company achieved an average daily liquid production of 13.7 thousand barrels per day, which is 41% higher than the 9,700 barrels average performance in 2023. Similarly, our average gas production in the year under review stood at some 32 million scf per day, which represented a 22% increase on the average 27 million scf that we had in 2023. In 2024, in terms of refined petroleum products that we refined, we sold 240.5 million liters, which represents about 14.5% increase on the 210 million liters that we sold in 2023. As a result of this operational performance and the prevailing product prices, our company achieved a revenue of 581 billion naira, which represented about 163% growth over that of 2023, and a profit after tax of 259 billion, which represented a 382% increase over that of the prior period. At the end of 2024, we experienced about 390% growth in the company's earning per share, which stood at 59 naira 35 kobo, and also a 90% growth in shareholders' equity, which stood at 1.4 trillion naira. Permit me to speak about what we see for 2025. Our Q1 2025 unaudited accounts, which have since been published, offer a good insight into what lies ahead in this year. Operationally, we have started stronger than we did in the corresponding period of last year. Our 15,000 barrels per day crude oil production represents a 12% growth. And we remain positive that we are on course to achieve our 2025 targets of increasing our liquid production by a factor of 20% relative to what we achieved in 2024. Within the quarter, our gas production was curtailed based on specific one-off events that impacted offtake by our major offtaker. And at the end of the quarter, we stood at an average daily production of about 19.5 billion scoff per day, which in a way is some 49% less than what we did in the prior period. But I'm happy to mention that we have since normalized supply, and we remain optimistic that we will end up the year at some between 40 to 50% growth in terms of gas production and monetization over what we had in 2024. Also within this quarter, we sold about 76 million liters of refined products, which represents a 26% growth over what we achieved in the same period in 2024. Arising from all of this, and in comparison to the same period in 2024, our Q1 2025 revenues are up by 70%, and our profit before tax is up by 46%, both in functional USD terms. In Naira terms, the numbers are more elevated than these. Our growth program, both organically within our existing assets and inorganically through mergers and acquisitions activities, are on course. It is our projection that we will exit 2025 with liquid production potential in the range of about 20,000 barrels per day and gas production potential in the range of about 80 million scoff per day. Similarly, we also project growth in the exit refined volumes and the magnitude of about 20% based on our projection and what we are currently running with at the point in time. We are working on the plans to bring refined PMS into production and on stream. And I would say at this point that we shall be updating once we commence refining of PMS to you through our normal channels of communication. Our multi-field operations are increasingly stabilizing. In addition to production coming from Ogbele, we have production coming in from Omerelu field. We are currently working on bringing production on stream by the end of the year from the recently acquired Olo field. And it's our conviction that all these will strengthen our credentials to continue producing for the foreseeable future. Our investments in assets that are operated by others are in good shape. Over the years, we have been receiving the financial benefit of being a 42% shareholder in ND Western. ND Western is an affiliate company that acquired the divested interest of the multinationals in OMA 34. We are excited as to what the future holds for this investment by way of shareholder returns. In March of this year, our investee company, Renaissance Africa Energy Company, completed and took over the reins of ownership and operatorship of the erstwhile Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited, a company that holds the largest reserves of hydrocarbon resources in onshore Nigeria. The signs are very promising. In the first month of operation since Renaissance took over, Renaissance surpassed its monthly target by a factor of about 40%. We are optimistic of the long-term benefits that will accrue to Aradel as a result of this strategic investment. As we consolidate, we are also optimistic of decent returns arising from a minority investment in Chapal Energy Mauritius, which acquired the divested interest of Equinor in OML 128, a mining lease with prolific resource endowments that includes the famous Agbami field operated by Chevron, and arguably the largest gas finds in the Nwadoro fields of OML 129. As a roundup, let me state that we remain committed to running this business on the back of strong ESG credentials. We have completed the needs assessment for our host communities, who are critical partners in this journey. As we speak, the 5-year development plan arising from this needs assessment has just been finalized, and implementation is about commencing in earnest. As always, please permit me to put on record our appreciation to you, our esteemed shareholders, on whose behalf we continue to pilot the affairs of our great company, the chairman and the entire board of directors for their constant guidance and strategic leadership, the management and staff of Shareholder Holdings for their unflinching dedication and professionalism, our host communities who continue to show us tremendous goodwill and the solid support that has enabled us to continue to thrive, the regulators of our operations and activities for their faith and support, which continues to enable us to deliver, our business partners, our suppliers, our vendors, our contractors, our service providers, and many others. Your support has been most invaluable. Last and most importantly, to God, who continues to give us good health and sound mind, and who has continued to keep us safe as we operate this ship. In about 6 months from now, it will be 20 years of successful and continuous operations for Aradel in our flagship assets. We have come a long way. We believe the journey ahead of us is far, far longer in reach than these past 20 years. We remain grateful to all who have played one key role or the other in our journey to the moment. And we look forward with optimism to the next 20 years of significantly larger scale of operations and impact in our socio-economic firmament. This particular edition of our annual general meeting is a special one for us because it is the first annual general meeting we are holding since we became listed on the main board of the NGX. And we'd like to assure you that all the credentials that are known and associated with us will continue to subsist and grow in scale. Our focus remains significant and superior shareholder return, and that the board and the staff remain committed to. We look forward to the next edition of the annual general meeting of shareholders in 2026. And until then, we continue to count on your support. Look forward to seeing you at the next year's AGM by God's grace. Until then, we remain in the prayer that God bless Shareholder Holdings PLC, that God bless our nation, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter Falade. Now we have the opportunity to take questions from a few shareholders. Okay, the gentleman. Oh, sorry, by the way, we'll take all the questions, perhaps maybe as many as 5, and then the CEO will make a response to all the questions together.
Thank you, our amiable chairman, board of the director, management team, all supporting shareholders. Good morning. My name is Tunji Bamidele. I belong to professional investors across Africa. I'm a leader of a Starlight shareholder in Nigeria. My chairman, we sincerely appreciate you as a leader and all the team because the report before us was to be celebrated. Due to what our MD said few moments ago, and with the report before us. In fact, we really appreciate all of you for job well done. My chairman, I will get a little bit brief, and we have some area that need to be improved. My chairman, as far as we get to the financial highlights in page 8, we observed every indices is moving up. It's a signal that people who invest in this business are happy today because of the return on investment. And dividend of today we are proposing, I think it surpassed the last year. We sincerely appreciate all of you, and I believe God will continue to be with you. My chairman, when I go through chairman's statement, there's a lot of things that are going on there. Increase in production, refinery, as far as the MD have touched. But I likely to ask one or two questions in the area of corporate governance. We look critically at a board appointment and whatsoever. In line with regulatory standard, we observe there's only one independent director you have. My chairman, to fall in line with that standard, I think the laws said it very clear. We need to have at least 3 independent directors. What's your position as at now? 1. When I go through page 14 to 16, MD report, Mr. Faraday, in fact, you are worth to be proud as Nigerians. I could remember years back when I had one Faraday as my mentor at an higher institution at Unilag. In fact, I could never forget that family because they helped me a lot. I really appreciate you because that name across the world, people are trying to respect it. I want to appeal to the board and management that you need to strengthen investor relation office because it's a bridge between the management and the investor. So at least you'll be able to get the feedback from whatever you are doing, please. And you said your dividend policy is 20%. I don't know how true it is. And we expect that we expect you to move to the next level, where 35 to 40, because thank God the resources on ground. If it could be possible, we can change it today. So we can go with something that is more better than this. My chairman, when we are looking at the risk exposure and the risk culture, align it together and ethics and safety risk. What's your position? Because what you are putting the resources on it is a lot. You need to be cautious in rate of safety. Can you please tell us your safety standard in line with culture? I go through page 73, 76 to 77, financial position. And when I reach certain area, I discovered that your cost to the revenues are increasing, but not that area I'm going particularly. Our auditor charges are increasing in 200 to 300%. We need better explanation. Your expenses move from 20 billion to 56 billion. Sir, we will appreciate if you can tell us the rationale behind it. My chairman, in page 125,
Please, can you kindly wrap up because we have other questioners.
Yes, my chairman.
And we don't want to spend the whole day.
We are celebrating today.
Please, we understand that.
Yes, sir.
But at the same time, others have questions, so please.
Please.
Kindly,
yes, sir, my chairman.
Please,
I will
please,
hand up. This is the last 2 sentences.
Please.
My chairman, please just give me a minute. I will round up now. My chairman, when I look at the director emolument, it moved from 438 million to 1.3 billion. I think it's about a 300% increase. My chairman, likewise, there's a bad debt. All this one need a little bit explanation because globally, people are watching us. You get me right? And there is an issue of gas shortage. My chairman, and you are producer of the gas in Nigeria. What is the position? Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. The lady with the hat, please. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry, let me just know that we should try to keep questions to at the most 2 minutes each, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, other board members, the regulatory authorities, my fellow distinguished shareholders, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Barrister Detutu Shiyombola. I'm the president of Highly Favored Shareholders Association. Mr. Chairman, I have some observations, comments, questions, and suggestions on Aradel Holdings PLC's 2024 annual report and accounts. With your kind permission, I will quickly run through them. On page 8, financial performance highlights. Going through all the indices stated therein, I observed an excellent performance in the year under review. I want to seize this opportunity to kudos to the board and the management team for a job well done and implore them to do more. From page 42 to 45, the beautiful faces and the profile of the board of directors. I observed that we have only 2 ladies in the board of 9 directors, which amounts to 22%. This is unacceptable on gender balancing. We have to improve on it going forward. From page 46 to 48, the beautiful faces and profile of the executive management. I observed that we have only 2 ladies in the management team of 11 members, which amounts to 18%. This is unacceptable on gender balancing as well. We have to improve on it going forward. On page 52, attendance at the board meetings and the board committee meetings is good, but can be excellent. We have to improve on our attendance going forward. On page 56, item 4, dividend. I observe that the board has recommended a final dividend of 22 naira per share in addition to 8 naira earlier paid as interim dividend per share, making a total dividend of 30 naira per share in the year under review, compared to 10 naira paid the previous year. This is highly commendable. Please keep it up. On page 57, item 8, directors' interest in shares. I observed that 5 directors out of 9 listed have our shares attached to their names directly or indirectly in the year under review. Well, this is commendable as well. Please keep it up. Lastly, on page 77, consolidated and separate statement of financial position. Permit me to limit myself to group position. Trade and other receivables under current assets went up from 53.5 billion naira to 68.8 billion naira in the year under review. What are the modalities in place to collect this debt from our customers to the barest minimum so that it will not end up as bad debts that will be written off? Trade share-based payments and other payables under current liabilities also went up from 57.1 billion naira to 120.9 billion naira in the year under review. How do we intend to pay this debt to our creditors? Thanks and God bless you richly for this opportunity, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you. Gentleman at the front.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me the opportunity to stand. My name is Emmanuel Ukwabaifani. I must thank you for today for giving us the opportunity to speak with our director and chairman one-on-one. I thank you for the unclaimed dividend, which you made it possible that you publish, so that the shareholder will begin to look at it and claim the dividend. Chairman, you will do something about that. The third one I'm going to say, that is the second one, the health issue that you have just started here, keep it off for the management and the staff, which is very important. The third one, again, I'm going to look at it, is filling station. We don't have filling station. Make sure, Mr. Chairman, that you establish filling station and beat the price down so that the poor masses can have access to buy. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I think let's have a lady. The lady in the blue jeans.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, the board, every other persons that are here, I say good morning. My name is Baka Juliet Eberechukwu. I want to make my points on the appreciation. Just want to appreciate the board for making this meeting a physical one. Some of the companies have done their own online. We are not able to come out to air our view, but I want to say thank you, sir, for making this one a physical one. Thank you so much. And I also want to appreciate the company secretary. She's for her openness. She's very open, and she's the woman for the people. Ma, thank you so much for allowing us to reach to you. You are very good. God bless you. I also want to join other members that have spoken on the dividend. We also appreciate you for the good dividends that you have given us. And we are praying next year, sir, you will make it double. God bless you. Once again, my name is Baka Juliet Eberechukwu.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, management, Mr. Chairman, members of the board and management, and my fellow shareholders. My name is Mosuro Yakubu Titilai. I want to congratulate her for this big achievement. If you look at the report, page 76, you'll be excited that the administrative cost over the revenue is about 9.64. That shows a very good management of the resource. Page 76, you will see that the general administrative expenses just about 9.64%. That's super excellent in terms of management. In some cases, you'll be seen so high, and you'll be wondering whether it's only management that they are taking, administration that they are doing. Two, if you look at finance cost, you'll be excited too that you only have finance cost of about 1.075%. It's so super. In some cases, you'll be shocked as if we are working for the bank. But it shows a very good management, and I was so excited. Then to look at our EPS, annual per share, relative to our shares, over 10%. And that's a very good one. I must congratulate you for that. Then when you look at trade and receivable, though people said it's high, as far as I'm concerned, it's highly manageable when you look at your revenue of 581 billion, and you are just having a receivable of about 68 billion, which is about 9.something%. It's manageable. I know they will still work on that to get it done. Then if you look at my general suggestion, I know the chairman actually, the MD addressed it, the issue of the local community. When it comes to how they sabotage our pipeline, I'm so happy that you are handling it because the expectation is high, and once you have issue in that area, that will definitely reduce our output. So I'm so excited about it. So I was excited too. Initially, we had problems. The rest that has problem in acquiring share, which you addressed. Initially, the NNPC management was so reluctant and they were so hostile about you. They are saying you don't have capability to manage it. You have not managed the one you have, but really showed that you can do it. And I'm so grateful to God that you're able, at the end, able to achieve that.
Thank
you.
Well
done. The expectation is there. We expect it so much. And so that the shareholder, we are looking forward to it. You can do it. You have the board and management so that you continue to be a delight to the shareholder. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Maybe we'll go to this side.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All protocol duly observed. My name is Salah Mohammed Adebanjo. Good morning, everybody. First and foremost, I want to appreciate your substantial contribution to the growth of the company in the year under review, which I commend you for your good, well done job. kudos to the board. So the only advice that I will give to our management and board, our company is growing up organically to our expectation. So I would like our management and board to advise that they should continue to remain fully committed and manage our business in a sustainable way and upholding higher standards of ethics and good corporate governance. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me the
Thank you.
opportunity.
I think we'll take maybe 3 more questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me the opportunity. All protocol duly observed. The financial result of the company seen in note 8, on page 8. My name is Okunla Emmanuel Oladewaju. The financial result of the company as seen in note 8, on page 8, is marvelous. I want to also thank the management for doing business responsibly in terms of healthcare, oath society management, charitable donations, sponsorship, security, and leadership quality. Thirdly, dividend payout proposed of 22 naira is good, but you can do better. And the payment day is supposed to be today instead of tomorrow. Thirdly, on page 81, the interest paid represents an increase of almost double of the last year payment, from 5 billion to 9 billion. On the final note, on page 100, bad debt of 3.4 billion written off. Let's watch against future occurrence. Astronomical increase of auditors' remuneration, increase of over 200%, from 150 million to 298 million, is very huge. Basic increase in earnings per share from 9 naira to 38 naira 40 kobo this year is very credible. Lastly, unclaimed dividend transferable back to your P&L after 12 years, the registrar should look into clearing the books of unclaimed dividend. And lastly, your miracle is in your hand. According to shareholder look and reliability on management, move forward by God's grace.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me. Okay. Final question. I'm sure that the responses from the MD will address many of the questions that you would want to ask.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to my esteemed shareholders. Permit me to rest on the existing protocol well established. My name is Engineer Tubosun Fashola. I'm going to deviate a bit from all the comments around financials. I think they have talked a lot about that. But I want to commend the board, the chairman and the board, for the great job done. So, okay. On page 9, I want to speak on the safety aspect, the HSE aspect of it. I appreciate the efforts reporting on the safety and I applaud the good records that we have. 0 serious injury and fatality, that is commendable. That means we're not making profit on the blood of people, and that is great. But I would love to highlight that the total recordable case frequency increased from 0.06 last year to 0.2. That is high. So please, we need to watch out for that. We need to put a lot of effort so that we can stem that down. The second part has to do with process safety risks. BP Texas incident of 2005 readily comes to mind when the business was lost with a lot of lives. Please, I want to call our attention to that. Please, the MD, let's highlight the area of process safety, what we're doing about that risk to mitigate that, because that can actually erode all our financial gains. So I will encourage that. I saw that we had a recorded fire of 4 though I do not have details about that, but that is important to watch out for so that we don't lose that. Then the other part of it that we need to pay attention to is the loss of primary containment that we experience in that. Then the last point I would like to raise has to do with Utorogo, that is under OML 34. I'm a bit familiar with that. I worked in Escravos gas plant for some years before I took my retirement. So I know that they actually deal with wet gas. There's a lot of effort going on to actually recover the condensate. But I want you to step that up so that we can recover value from that. We don't continue to erode the value we can get from the condensate into the wet gas. So sending that to wet gas without adding any value. So that would really be helpful for if your team can look at that. So once again, I want to thank you for the great job that you have done. Thank you.
Thank you. Now our MD will address all the questions that were posed.
Mr. Chairman and esteemed shareholders, please, your kind permission for me to stand while I'm responding to these questions. I think the first thing, no, I feel more comfortable standing up. Please allow me. I think the first thing I'd like to do is to appreciate the extent of engagement that is reflecting in the questions that have been asked. It just shows us that we've got very passionate shareholders who take very keen interest in what's been going on. So thank you for that. The second comment I'm going to make is, please permit me to just respond to the issues and points raised. We thank you for the accolades of how you have viewed our operational and financial performance, and we're thankful that you acknowledge it as such. So I would like to spend time on the observations, the areas of improvement that have been made. I do recognize that there are some questions that are repeated, so I'll just answer them and may not repeat the answers to where they were subsequently asked. Thank you, Mr. Bamidele, for your comments. In terms of areas of improvement, you highlighted with respect to our board composition. As it is today, we have only one independent director, and you are correct. But what I'd like to assure you is that the board is already working on ensuring that by the time the next edition of this AGM we hold, the statutory requirement of the minimum number of independent directors would have been achieved. This is a point that we made a commitment to the NGX on, and we have a window of time to cure this, and we are working hard to ensure that as part of the board refresh that is taking place subsequently after now, this requirement will be fully satisfied. Your suggestion for us to strengthen Investor Relations Office is taken under advisement. We will do more on this, and thank you for that comment. Your comment with respect to the basis for making dividend payments. Let me provide a bit of clarity around this. The board approved a policy that provides two key guardrails that determine how much dividend gets paid. And those guardrails are 20% of distributable income and 50% of profit after tax. We are guided by both, and it's always our intention to maximize how much shareholders get. As we speak today, the basis of paying the dividend and recommending the dividend that you are getting, both the interim and the final, is based on 50% of the profit after tax, and which has been rightly acknowledged is 3 times what was paid in the prior period. But because we also are forward-looking in terms of our financial commitments, our programs, we keep an eye on the quantum of distributable income just to make sure we are running a sustainable business and we are keeping the balance. You made reference to what is our policy on risk and safety standards. I'm happy to let you know that this board in particular places a very strong and high premium on managing our business from a risk point of view. It's not cliche, we do have an active risk register. As at the last time, that risk register has over 260 different risks that we are monitoring and that we are dealing with. And at every quarter, I have the responsibility to present to this board the top risk of the company in terms of the likelihood of occurrence and the impact should they occur. And that has continued to guide how the board provides strategic direction in making sure that we run this business safely and responsibly. So there is a very strong practice of risk management at the board level, and that percolates down to management. You mentioned your observation, rightfully so, about increase in auditor charges. Factually, that is correct. But the context to that is that increasingly we are having significantly more accounting standards that we have to comply with. Along with that, we are also having issues of additional subsidiary companies for which audited opinion needs to be provided. So there's a significant growth in the scale, in the scope of what the external auditors do, and the numbers that reflect what they are being paid have been benchmarked with what obtains elsewhere. And I will admit that we have a very decent payment for them. So the number is not outrageous, even though it is an increase on what we had in times past, but it's a reflection of the increased scope of both entities that they are managing and the many other areas as dictated by the frequent changes we are having in accounting standards. You rightfully observed the increase in operational expenses. Some of these operational expenses are directly linked to production. As we're growing our revenue, some of these expenses were incurred in the course of growing those revenues, as it were. I think the acid test, when we look at our expenses, is not to look at our expenses in isolation of our revenue. Is to look at our expenses and consider what the margin difference is. Expenses taken away from our top line. And I'm proud to say that in our industry, Auditor Holdings operates at the top quartile performance when it comes to marginal return. For the year 2024, our net marginal performance was about 46%. You don't get that. No other company delivered that in the course of the year. And it's something that we should be proud of, that despite the increase that you see in those expenses, which many of them are linked to achieving the value at the top line, we've still remained very, very efficient. And it's the reason why we're able to return the sort of dividend that you are getting. In terms of directors' emolument, yes, it is noted, but the comfort I'd like to give to you is that the review in the directors' emolument was done after we have had a benchmark by one of the top 4 companies of what our directors were earning relative to what directors were being paid in similar organizations. Where we are today, we are running a company that is striving to be the #1 in our industry. It is important that we also retain the capacity to attract the best of minds, whether at the board level or at the management level. And at the very minimum, to ensure that compensation that are offered to them are not significantly inferior to what people who are not delivering as much are earning in similar companies. So what we're doing now is really trying to correct what our directors should be earning, recognizing that what we have been offering them before was not at par with what the industry dictated. And you agree with me that for us to sustain the momentum we have, it's important we offer something that remains attractive and at least compensates for the value that they keep bringing to our company. On gas shortage, there's a global gas shortage, but I think the comfort we can derive is in what I've given in my speech earlier on. Last year, our total gas production was about 32 million scf per day, average for the year. This year, we are comfortable and confident that we will end up at about 52, 53 million scoff per day. That's a significant growth. So we're doing our bit to continue to support our gas development and gas supply in the country. Today, our gas goes to a domestic off-taker that uses it for compressed natural gas. Today, our gas goes into an LNG. And because of that, Nigeria continues to earn significant revenue that supports our development. So thank you very much. Let me also thank our dear barrister, Barrister Ganiat. I can't see her now, but thank you. You are always very consistent in your feedback. There are two key feedbacks you've given today that are connected. The first one has to do with gender balance. You've observed rightly that this board has only two distinguished females on our board, and that is correct. But may I say that the two that you see is actually an improvement from where we're coming from. This time last year, when we had this meeting, it was only one person. Today is two. I think we should celebrate the small gains. And I can assure you that next year, you will find more than two. So we are moving it forward. So thank you very much for that observation. At the same token, today we do have two eminently qualified and competent and capable females on the senior management team. As at this time last year, it was just one person. So that we have today is also a sign of improvement. And we are actively working on ensuring that we continue to deepen the diversity flavor of our management and our board without sacrificing on merit. So we take note of those comments. Your comments with respect to trade and other receivables are noted. I would just like to add that what you see is more of a timing issue rather than an issue of bad debts. For context, when we do export our crude, there is a minimum period of time before we receive payment, and payment had never been missed. When we also export our gas, there is a minimum period before we receive payment, and payment had never been missed. What you're seeing here featuring under trade and other receivables are largely the timing difference of when we did the cutoff at the end of the year and when we received the shipments, whether it is export crude or export gas. To your other comment on the debtors and creditor position that you have seen, we are not in a dire situation in terms of our ability to meet our payment obligations. Again, there's also a timing issue here. To manage our cash flow, contractually, there is a number of days after services are procured and received before payments are made. And a number of what you find in this space actually emanate from that timing difference. We run a company that is extremely and prudently managed. Cash position very strong. We are not in a position where we are threatened in terms of our capacity to continue to fulfill our financial obligations. Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel, for your comments on the unclaimed dividend. We do encourage you all to please look through the section on unclaimed dividend and please react or take appropriate steps to make sure you claim your dividends. On your suggestion with respect to establishing filling stations, I would just say it's not something we are contemplating for now, basically because that's a totally different terrain and it comes with its own risks for which we are not prepared as we speak today. Our commitment is to stay in those corridors where our skills and capacities are well proven and where we can continue to deliver sustainable value. Thank you, Banker Juliet Eberechukwu, for your comments. The desire for what you say good dividend is noted. We think we already have good dividend. What we have today is 3 times what we had prior, and we'll continue to work on that. Our job is to develop and grow a business with strong enough cash flow, with strong top-line performance, strong bottom-line performance, that then dovetails into the amount of dividend that you will get. And that's a commitment that we remain committed to. Mr. Mosuro, thank you very much for your comments and the appreciation with respect to the performances across G&A, finance, our EPS, and even the trade receivables. And indeed, thank you for appreciating the fact that ourselves and our partners who have come together into Renaissance have been deemed worthy to manage the SPDC venture. We will continue to do that to the best of our ability. Thank you, Mr. Adebanjo, for your comments that we should remain grounded and we should continue to run this business sustainably. I'd like to assure you that that is something the chairman and the board does on a consistent basis. We have a very committed board of directors that operate beyond even the scheduled meetings to continue to get involved, drive, and provide appropriate leadership for the way we run the business. And we're really proud of that. And we're really, really blessed to have our chairman and the directors who continue to drive the affairs of this company. Mr. Emmanuel Olariwaju, again, thanks for your comments. The point you have made with respect to bad debt is noted, but I've already addressed that. We continue to watch how we run the business to make sure we don't incur that going forward. And last but not the least, Engineer Fashola, thank you for coming from a very strong industry practice. Your points that you have made with respect to safety and HSE are well acknowledged. The comments you've made with respect to total recordable loss frequency that has increased is well noted. Some of these incidences have arisen as a result of the exponential growth we are having in our operations. Up until this time last year, we were operating in only one asset, as it were, just one field. Over the course leading to the end of the year, we have significantly ramped up activities in terms of refining. We were doing a lot of drilling operations. We were involved in a marine spread operations. We went into another asset, and that is where some of these came up from. But let me assure you that for us, safety is not what we do after we've done our business. Safety is the way we run our business, and it's at the very core of it. We have a very strong and deeply entrenched general HSE and process safety that continue to drive just to make sure that the business we're running is sustainable. The business we're running is operated to global standards. As a demonstration of our commitment to this, we have attained certain global certifications that attest to the fidelity with which we run our business. Today, we are ISO certified, ISO 14001, which has to do with health, safety, and environment. We are ISO 9001 certified, which speaks to quality assurance and quality control. And as I speak right now, we're on the journey to our certification on ISO 45001. We're not doing this to tick the box. We're doing it to assure that we're running the business very well, and we are running it to global standards. The point you made about the wet gas from Utorogu, Utorogu is a field not operated by us, but operated by our affiliate company, ND Western is taking, and we will pass this on as advisement to ND Western. Once again, thank you all for your comments, and I'd like to hand over back to the chairman for the rest of the meeting.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is for the members to consider the resolutions being recommended by the Board of Directors for approval by members. May I therefore invite the registrars to explain the procedure to be adopted for voting throughout this meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will now proceed to explain the procedure for casting your votes using the various voting options. Esteemed shareholders, please be informed that we have captured a total of 252 proxy counts, which represents 2,106,907,600 sorry? I'll take that again. Esteemed shareholders, please be informed that we have captured a total number of 252 shareholders' votes received by proxy, holding 2,106,907,746 units, and this represents 48.49% of the issued share capital. For shareholders attending physically or virtually, you have been assigned a voting device that we have configured to represent your shareholding in Aradel Holdings PLC. On your voting parts, the button 1 or A is for a yes vote, 2 or B is for a no vote, 3 or C is for an abstain vote. Once the voting commences, please press the preference button in accordance with your decision or choice, and note that each shareholder can change their votes during the voting period. But once the voting period has ended, the last button you press will be recorded as your vote. For shareholders voting using their mobile devices, scan the QR code with your phone camera or visit vote.coronationregistrars.com on your phone browser. Select company events, Aradel Holdings PLC. Type in your shareholder number and access code provided during accreditation and press the login button. Ensure you accept the privacy policy. Once logged in, an amber sign appears at the top right corner of your device to show attendance status. When voting begins, the resolution will automatically pop up on your screen to cast your vote. Once the voting session commences, the voting options for, against, and abstain will pop up on your device screen. Please click on the reference button in accordance with your decision or choice. Please note that shareholders can change their votes during the voting period, but once the voting period has ended, the last button you pressed will be recorded as your vote. For shareholders using their mobile phone, please type the USSD code, short displayed, and end the code as provided below. #1 for votes in support, #2 to vote against, or #3 to abstain. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The first resolution is an ordinary resolution. Pursuant to Section 426, subsection 1 of CAMA, and the company's articles of association, the company, on the recommendation of the directors, may in a general meeting declare a dividend for the year in respect of which the accounts are being considered. The directors have so recommended, and I propose the following resolution: that your final dividend of 22 naira per ordinary share be paid to members whose names appear on the register of members as at the close of business on the 6th day of May 2025. Would a shareholder kindly second the motion by mentioning their name?
Thank you, my able chairman. My name is Mr. Akeme Clement. I rise to second that motion.
Thank you. I now call on the registrars to conduct the voting process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The voting period shall last for 60 seconds and the timer is on. You may now cast your votes. On your voting devices, 1 represents yes, 2 represents no, and 3 represents abstain. Please cast your votes accordingly. Thank you. We have 10 seconds left of the voting period. The voting has now ended, and we have a total of 514 shareholders in support of this resolution, representing 99.96% with a total holding of 2,379,615,892 units. And we have 2 shareholders who voted against the resolution with a total of 0.01%, with a holding of 142,053 units. And we have 1 shareholder who abstained from this resolution, holding 0.03%, with a total holding of 803,175 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. With the overwhelming votes in favor, I hereby declare the resolution carried. Re-election of directors. Before we move to the next item on the agenda, which is the re-election of directors who are retiring by rotation, I would like to disclose, in accordance with Section 278, subsection 1 of CAMA, that Messrs. Afolabi Oladele, Ede Osanyade, and myself are over 70 years of age. Now to the re-election of directors who are retiring by rotation in accordance with Section 285 of CAMA. I've been informed by the company's secretary that Mr. Afolabi Oladele, Ms. Patricia Simon Hart, and Mr. Gbenga Adetoro are due to retire by rotation at this meeting. I've been further informed by the company's secretary that the notice convening this meeting was issued for a period of 28 days in compliance with Section 282 of CAMA, given that Mr. Afolabi Oladele, who is retiring by rotation and offering himself for re-election, is above 70 years of age. In accordance with the company's articles of association, I hereby call on Mr. Afolabi Oladele, Ms. Patricia Simon Hart, and Mr. Gbenga Adetoro to indicate their respective willingness or otherwise to offer themselves for re-election.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I, Afolabi Oladele, do humbly offer myself for re-election. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I, Afolabi Oladele, do humbly offer myself up for re-election. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I, Patricia Simon Hart, do humbly offer myself up for re-election. See online.
Hi, yes. Good morning once again, dear esteemed shareholders. My name is Benga Adetoro, and I hereby represent myself for re-election. Thank you.
Thank you. Now that each of the directors retiring by rotation has indicated their respective willingness to present themselves for re-election, for convenience, I crave your indulgence to take the re-election of 3 directors as a single resolution. Are there any objections to this proposal? Thank you. Thank you. Accordingly, I therefore move the following motion: that Mr. Afolabi Oladele, Ms. Patricia Simon Hart, and Mr. Gbenga Adetoro, being directors retiring by rotation and presenting themselves for re-election at this meeting, in accordance with the company's articles of association, be and are hereby re-elected as directors of the company. Can a shareholder kindly second? Yeah.
Thank you, my amiable chairman. I, Prince Awosanya, I so second, all the way from Remo Federal Constituency.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I now call on the registrars to conduct the voting process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on display now. The timer is on. Please, you may cast your votes accordingly. On your voting device, 1 represents yes, 2 represents no, or 3 represents abstain. We have 40 seconds left to the end of the voting period. We have 20 seconds left to the end of the voting period. Please press 1 on your voting devices if in support of this resolution. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. Thank you. The voting has ended, and we have 488 shareholders who voted in favor of this resolution, representing 94.65% with a total holding of 2,257,384,568 units. And we have 6 shareholders who voted against this resolution, representing 5.35% with a total holding of 127,644,614 units. And we have 6 shareholders who abstained from this resolution, holding a total of 12,036 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. With the voting showing a clear majority in favor of the motion, I hereby declare the resolution carried. The next item is to ratify the appointment of a non-executive director. The next item on the agenda is to ratify the appointment of a non-executive director of the company. The profile of the director to be ratified can be found on page 43 of the annual report and notes to the AGM, notice and proxy form. I hereby move the following motion: the appointment of Ms. Karen Gunter as a non-executive director of the company be and is hereby ratified by members. Would a shareholder kindly second? Madam.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I, Mrs. Oduson Yaope, I rise to second the motion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Will the registrars kindly conduct the poll?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on the screen, and the timer is on. You may now cast your votes accordingly. On your voting devices, 1 represents yes, 2 represents no, 3 represents abstain. Please cast your votes accordingly. Thank you. We have 20 seconds to the end of the voting period. Ten seconds to the end of the voting period. The voting has now ended, and we have 484 shareholders in favor of this resolution, which represents 89.46%, with a total holding of 2,129,376,923 units. And we have 8 shareholders who voted against this resolution, representing 10.49%, with a holding of 249,737,779 units, and 6 shareholders who abstained from this resolution with a percentage of 0.05%, and this represents 1,087,756 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I'm glad to see that the motion was overwhelmingly carried, and warmly welcome Kerry Hunter formally to the board. Welcome aboard. The next item on the agenda is the reappointment of the external auditors, Deloitte and Touche, who served as auditors to the company for the accounting year 31st December 2024, and they've indicated their willingness to continue to render service to the company. I hereby move the following motion, that the audit firm of Deloitte and Touche be and is hereby reappointed as the company's external auditors for the financial year ending 31st December 2025. Would the shareholder kindly second?
Thank you, my chairman. Thank you, my chairman, for recognizing me. Ajere Marcel Ushenna is the name. I rise to second that motion.
Thank you. Registrars, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on the screen, and the timer is on. You may now cast your votes accordingly. Press 1 on your voting device if in support of this resolution. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. Thank you. We have 40 seconds to the end of the voting period. Twenty seconds to the end of the voting period. Ten seconds to the end of the voting period. The voting has now ended, and we have 470 shareholders who voted in favor of this resolution, representing 99.98%, with a total of 2,373,414,409 units. And we have 7 shareholders who voted against this resolution with a percentage of 0.02, and they represent 454,904 units. And we have 3 shareholders who abstained from this resolution with a total of 6,525 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. With the overwhelming support of the members, I declare the motion carried. The next item is for directors to determine the remuneration of the auditors. I hereby move the following motion as follows: that the directors be, and I hereby authorized to determine the remuneration of the auditors for the accounting year ending 31st December 2025. Can a shareholder kindly second?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Kola Alaga is my name. I rise to second the motion as moved by the chairman. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. The registrars, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on the screen now, and the timer is on. You may now cast your vote accordingly. Please press 1 on your voting device if in support, press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. Thank you. We have 40 seconds to the end of the voting period. Twenty seconds to the end of the voting period. Ten seconds to the end of the voting period. The voting has now ended, and we have 470 shareholders in support of this resolution, representing 96.71%, with a total of 2,333,790,283 units. And we have 9 shareholders who voted against this resolution, representing 3.29%, with a total of 79,379,859 units. And we have 2 shareholders who abstained from this resolution with a total of 2,075 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, the resolution again has been carried. Actually, it's just been pointed out to us that the SEC, CAC rather, Corporate Affairs Commission, requires that for the re-election of directors, we cannot take more than one at a time. So, sorry to further bother you. We'll have to readdress the issue of re-election of directors that are being re-elected, and this time we'll take them one at a time. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Afolabi Oladele, who has indicated his willingness to continue as a director, will now have a vote. We have the resolution to re-elect him, and with a shareholder kindly second that resolution, please. The lady, that lady.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Abioye Victoria. I so do.
Thank you. Registrars, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we'll have the resolution on the screen for the re-election of the directors.
No.
Okay. The voting is already in progress. Shareholders are already participating. We have 20 seconds to the end of the voting period. Ten seconds to the end of the voting period. Please cast your vote. It's already in progress. The voting has ended, and we have a total of 448 shareholders in favor of this resolution, representing 94.7%, with a total of 2,279,923,135 units. And we have 8 shareholders who voted against this resolution, representing 5.3%, with a total of 127,641,674 units, and 4 shareholders who abstained from this resolution, representing 11,076 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The resolution to re-elect Mr. Afolabi Oladele has been overwhelmingly carried. Thank you. The next eligible director for re-election is Patricia Simon Hart. Would a shareholder kindly second the proposal to have her re-elected?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this opportunity. My name is Adeniji Olusegun Chukwuemeka. I so do.
Thank you. Registrars.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on the screen, and the timer is on now. You may cast your vote accordingly, please. Press 1 on your voting device if in favor. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. Voting is in progress. We have 40 seconds to the end of the voting period. Please cast your votes accordingly. Press 1 on your voting device if in support. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. We have 20 seconds to the end of the voting period. The voting has ended, and we have 471 shareholders who voted in favor of this resolution, representing 84.79%, with a total of 2,033,138,959 units. And we have 5 shareholders who voted against this resolution, representing 5.2%. With a total of 124,731,260 units, and 5 shareholders who abstained from this resolution, representing 10.01%, with a total of 240,028,440 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The motion has been overwhelmingly carried. Thank you very much. Our third eligible director to be re-elected is Mr. Gbenga Adetoro. Will a shareholder kindly second the proposal?
My name is Olaofe Abayomi. I so second, sir.
Thank you. Registrars, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on the screen, and the timer is on. Please cast your votes accordingly. Press 1 on your voting device if in support. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. Thank you. We have 40 seconds to the end of the voting period. Please cast your votes accordingly. Press 1 on your voting device if in support, 2 against, or 3 to abstain. We have 20 seconds to the end of the voting period. We have 10 seconds left to the end of the voting period. The voting has ended, and we have 467 shareholders in support of this resolution, representing 84.39% with a total of 1,977,327,559 units, and 4 shareholders who voted against this resolution, representing 5.32%, with a total of 124,721,346 units, and 5 shareholders who abstained from this resolution, representing 10.29%, with a total of 241,154,286 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The motion has been overwhelmingly carried. Thank you very much. Yeah, we have a point of correction, this next item. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
My name is Prince Adewale Oyenuga. My observation, I want to appreciate the board because it's a listing board. I've received my dividend. That's my observation. God bless the board and God bless our company.
Thank you. Thank you for the appreciation. Okay, please, we have a few more items to go, please. So ladies and gentlemen, please Thank you. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we have a point of correction, ladies and gentlemen. It was brought to our attention that there was a slight clerical error in the earlier circulated AGM notice, wherein the approval of non-executive directors' remuneration was placed as an ordinary business. Consequently, in line with the corrected notice that is displayed and subsequently circulated to all shareholders, I hereby propose that the agenda item of non-executive directors' remuneration be stepped down and dealt with as part of the special business of the meeting. Would the shareholder kindly second that suggestion?
Yeah, Chairman, you called me to move to second the motion.
Thank you. Thank you. Your name?
My name is Abayomi Adebayo, shareholder of the company.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on the screen. And the timer will be on. Let's have the resolution on the screen.
Okay. Kwame, can we hear them? Can we hear them? Yes, we give them links to them, so like Benga, they should be able to see what they need to see. Okay. Sorry?
Thank you. So may we have the resolution on the screen, please?
The resolution I've just stated is to step down the proposed item regarding non-executive directors' remuneration from an ordinary resolution to special business of the meeting. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on display. We'll just update it quickly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, other board members, regulatory authorities here present, very distinguished shareholders. Once again, Honorable Kola Alaga is my name. My point of order is centered on the resolution you are trying to pass. Mr. Chairman, at the initial stage, I believe the company secretary read the notice of the annual general meeting to the House. And with the belief that almost everybody in the world, they are watching us today. And I want to wonder why you want to step down, or the reasons you have to step down the approval of the remuneration of the non-executive directors.
It's not being stepped down, it's been reclassified. Because it was originally passed as an ordinary resolution. It will now be passed as a special resolution.
So it's an adjustment to the agenda.
It's a reclassification.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's been
That is what we want to know, so that everybody could be carried along.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on the screen shortly. We have the resolution on the screen, and the timer is on. You may now cast your votes accordingly. Thank you. Please press 1 on your voting device if in support. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. Thank you. We have 40 seconds to the end of the voting period. Voting is still in progress. Press 1 on your voting device if in support. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. Thank you, esteemed shareholders. We have 10 seconds left to the end of the voting period. The voting has ended, and we have 462 shareholders who voted in favor of this resolution, representing 91.41%, with a total of 2,184,739,099 units. And we have 7 shareholders who voted against this resolution, representing 8.54%, holding 204,075,458 units. And 5 shareholders who abstained from the resolution, representing 0.05%, with a total holding of 1,194,443 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The resolution was overwhelmingly carried, and we will take up that particular motion later on as a special resolution later on in the meeting. So it will be considered. Thank you. The next item is the election or re-election, as the case may be, of members of the Statutory Audit Committee. The next item on the agenda is a membership of the Audit Committee. Before taking that, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the members of the Audit Committee for the 2024 financial year for a job very well done. The Company Secretary has advised that by virtue of Section 404, subsection 3 of CAMA, membership of the Audit Committee is made up of 2 non-executive directors and 3 representatives of shareholders. For the 2024 financial year, the Board of Directors has resolved to appoint Mr. Afolabi Oladele and Ms. Patricia Simon Hart as directors on the Audit Committee. I'm further informed by the Company Secretary that, that's for the 2025 financial year. I'm further informed by the Company Secretary that nominations were received from shareholders to elect or re-elect, as the case may be, the following nominees as shareholders' representatives on the Audit Committee. We have 10 nominees. Okay. The nominations were received prior to the notice of the AGM being circulated. By virtue of Section 404, subsection 6 of CAMA, nominations for membership of the Statutory Audit Committee must be received at least 21 days before the AGM. As previously stated, due to the fact that one of the directors offering himself for re-election is over 70 years of age, and in compliance with Section 282 of CAMA, the required notice period for the AGM is 28 days. Consequently, other nominations received after the notice had been issued, which could therefore not be listed in the proxy form, but still within the timetable provided by CAMA, are we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have Mr. Emmanuel Ifeanyi, Mr. Olubosun Banji, Mr. Adebayo Abayomi, Prince Ridwan Hamza, Mr. John Isesele, Mr. Akerele Ulushola, Mr. Odunuga Adebanke, and Mr. Adelakun Moshood Olarenwaju. Okay. The company secretary confirms that the nominations of all the candidates were received at least 21 days before this meeting, as required by Section 404, subsection 6 of CAMA, and that all nominees have indicated their willingness to serve in that capacity. I'm further informed by the company's secretary that the underlisted nominations were received but invalidated. Chief Akinsoya Adeolu, the reason name of nominee not in the register of members. Mr. Alaga Muftau, name of the nominee not in the register of members. And Mr. Adelakun Adeshola, invalid because it came out of time. With a membership limit of 3 and with 19, now with 18 valid nominations received, each shareholder may only vote for 3 nominees. The 3 nominees with the most votes out of the 18 persons nominated to be members of the Statutory Audit Committee, as shown above, will be elected or re-elected, as the case may be, as shareholders' representatives on the Statutory Audit Committee. Will the registrars kindly conduct the poll?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Statutory Audit Committee voting will be done through electronic voting. Shareholders can vote for only 3 candidates out of the 18 shareholders nominated for this meeting. Your voting device will be configured according to
distinguished shareholders, please. Kindly take your seats, please. Kindly take your seats. I can't call everybody. I can't call everybody. I can't call everybody, madam.
Esteemed shareholders,
We
please
cannot
let's
call
settle
everybody.
down. Let's settle down. The voting will be done by count. Electronic count is not by poll. It's a count, electronic count.
No, I don't mean.
Okay, the dividend.
Yeah. You know? Because they'll be more calm until they get the money. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Take your seats, please.
Esteemed shareholders, please may we settle down. So the voting session is a traditional way, which is by count. The only difference is to monitor and ensure that we do not vote more than 3 times. We're using your device as your show of hand. So it's not your holding, it is just your count. And that is how to control not more than 3 times. So we will proceed.
Esteemed shareholders, just for clarification, I believe the concern here is that we are going to be voting based on shareholding. Even though we are using the counters, as the law says, it is still 1 vote per person, and it doesn't matter how large or how small the shareholding is. It is 1 vote per person. Thank you.
Thank you, shareholders. Thank you, esteemed shareholders and directors. So we'll proceed. The voting will be done using the device, and it's a count. And it's not going to, you're not going to count more, vote more than 3 times for your preferred candidate. So we'll proceed and have the first nominee on the screen. It is show of hand, it's a count, show of hand, madam. It's the same thing. So we have the first nomination on the screen. We have the first nomination on the screen, Mr. Femi Akisoya. Please, let's settle and progress, please. Mr. Femi Akisoya, the timer is on. The timer is on. Please press 1 if in support. Listen, please. Press 1 if this is your preferred candidate. If it's not your preferred, you do not vote. Press 1 if in support, please.
Please, can we take our seats, please? Lie one here. No, yeah, where else in be? I don't think so. Yeah. No. Ẹ bá wa jókòó, please. Ẹ bá wa jókòó, please. Please take your seat, please. You can't, no.
Next is Chief Bola Akinola. Please come out. Mr. Erifolami Gafa. Mr. Erifolami Gafa, come out, please. Mr. Olatunji Bamidele, please come out. Mr. Olagoke Samson Olusegun. Mr. Ajani Musa Adekola. Mr. Adeshino Olaleko Oladepo. Mr. Ajayikunle Moses Idowu. Mr. Saliu Mohammed Adebanjo. Next is Mr. Okwagba Emmanuel Ifayin. Mr. Olu Bosun Banji. Mr. Adebayo Abayomi. Prince Rewa Hamza. Mr. John Umo Buhari Iseseli. Mr. Akerele Olushola, please come out for identification. Mrs. Odunuga Samuel Adebanke. And Mr. Adelaku Moshood Olarewaju. Also, Mr. Adelaku Lukman Adeshola, please come out. Mr. Lukman, please come out. Okay, so Mr. Salah Mohammed has stepped down now. He just withdrew.
You have withdrawn. Mr. Aditi, he has also withdrawn. After making.
Okay.
So announce.
So we'll now proceed with the next line. Mr. Adelaku Lukman Adeshola just withdrew openly now. So we'll proceed with the vote. We'll have the first candidate's name up on the screen. Mr. Femi Akinsoya, the timer is on. Mr. Femi Akinsoya, please step forward for identification. The timer is on. Please cast your vote in favor. The voting is in progress. If in support, please vote for the candidate, Mr. Femi Akinsoya. The voting has ended. We have 348. We'll move to the next candidate, Mr. Eddie Efekoha, who is joining remotely. The timer is on. He's on the screen, Mr. Eddie Efekoha. Thank you, sir. Thank you for honoring that. Please press 1 if you're in support. You can only press 4, which is one button if you're in support. If you're not in support, you can wait until you see your preferred candidate, please. And be reminded, we can only pick 3 candidates all through the process. Thank you, esteemed shareholders. The voting has ended, and we have the counts for Mr. Eddie Efekoha as 347. We'll move to the next name, Chief Bola Akinola. If you're in support, please press 4. He's also joining virtually. He's joining remotely, please. The timer is on. The timer is on. Chief Bola Akinola. Mr. Chief Bola Akinola is on the screen. If he's your preferred candidate, please press 4. The voting has commenced. The voting is in progress, please. If you're in support, press 4. If you're not, just observe. Please press 1 if you're in support. On your voting pad, press 1 if you're in support. The voting has ended. We have his count as 314. We'll move to the next name. Mr. Erifolami Gaffa, please step forward if you're here. Where is he? The voting will continue. Please press, timer is on. If you're in support of this resolution, press 1 on your keypad. Voting is in progress. If you're in support, press 1 on your voting keypad in support of this candidate. Voting is still in progress. Please press 1 if you're in support of this candidate. The voting has ended. We have a score on the screen as well as 32. We'll move to the next candidate, Mr. Olatunji Bamidele. Thank you, sir, for coming out. Please press 1 if you're in support of this resolution. 2 more seconds to the end of the voting. Voting has ended. We have his total count on the screen, 65. We'll move to the next nominee, and that's Mr. Olagoke Samson Olusegun. Mr. Olagoke Samson Olusegun. The timer is on. Please press 1 on your keypad if you're in support of this nominee. We have 10 seconds to the end of the voting period. Please exercise your vote if in support of this candidate. The voting has ended, and we have a total count of 11 in his favor. We'll move to the next nominee, Mr. Ajani Musa Adekola. Mr. Ajani Musa Adekola. The timer is on. Please cast your vote if in support of this candidate. Press 1 on your keypad if in support, please. Press 1 on your voting device if you're in support of this candidate. Press 1 on your voting device if you're in support of this candidate. The timer is counting down. The voting has ended. We have 13 shareholders that voted in favor of Mr. Deshino Oladipo. We'll have the next candidates up on the screen. Mr. Ajayi Moses. Mr. Ajayi Moses Idowu. The timer is on. If you're in support of this candidate, press 1 on your keypad. We have 20 seconds to the end of the voting in favor of this candidate. Please press 1 on your keypad if in support of this candidate. The voting has ended. We'll have the next candidates up on the screen. Mr. Saliu Mohammed Adebanjo. What? Next on the voting has ended there. Next on the list, we'll have the next candidate on the screen, please. Okwaba Emmanuel Ifeanyi. Please press 1 on your voting device if in support of this candidate. The timer is on. Press 1 on your voting device if in support of this candidate. Thank you. So we'll have the next candidate's name on the screen. We have a total of 62 for the last candidates. So we'll have the next one on the screen. Mr. Olubosun Banji. The timer is on. If in support of this candidate, please press 1 on your voting devices. Thank you. Press 1 on your voting device if in support of this candidate, Mr. Olubosun Banji. The voting is over. So we have 25 shareholders in support of this candidate. We'll move to the next candidate. Mr. Adebayo Abayomi. The timer is on. Please exercise your right. Press 1 on the voting device if you're in support of this candidate. The voting has ended and we have 56 votes in favor of Mr. Adebayo Abayomi. So we'll have the next candidates up on the screen. Prince Rewan Hamza. Prince Hamza. The timer is on. Please press 1 if in support of this resolution. Prince Hamza is up for vote. Please press 1 on your voting device if in support of this resolution. The voting has ended. We have 10 shareholders in support of this candidate. Next is Mr. John Iseseli. Mr. John Iseseli. The timer is on. Please cast your vote. Press 1 on your voting device if you're in support of this candidate. I won't know. The voting has ended. We have 5 shareholders in support of Mr. John Iseseli. Next is Mr. Akirele. Sorry, if you have been voted for, you may have your seat. Thank you, esteemed shareholders. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. So next will be Mr. Akirele Olushola. Mr. Akirele Olushola. The timer is on. If in support of this candidate, please press 1 on your voting device. You have 10 seconds left for the voting period. If in support of this candidate, Mr. Akerele Olushola, please press 1 on your voting devices. Thank you. The voting has ended, and we have 7 shareholders that voted in support of this candidate, Mr. Olushola. So we'll have the next candidate on the screen, and that's Mrs. Odunuga Samiut Adebanke. The timer is on. Please press 1 on your voting device if you're in support of this candidate. Voting is still in progress. Please press 1 on your voting device if you're in support of this candidate, Mrs. Odunuga Samiut Adebanke. Voting has ended, and we have 16 shareholders in support of this candidate. We'll have the next candidate on the screen, Mr. Adelakun Moshood Olariwaju.
This number 2.
Voting is still in progress, even in support of this candidate. So next will be Mr. Alaga Kolawole Muftar. Mr. Alaga Kolawole Muftar. Is he here? Please come out so that our esteemed shareholders can identify you. Mr. Alaga Kolawole Muftar. The feedback from the crowd is here. Step down. Mr. Alaga Kolawole. He's on the screen and the timer is on. If you're in support of him, please click 1 on your voting devices. We have 10 seconds to the end of the voting period. The voting has ended, and we have 6 shareholders in support of Mr. Alaga Kolawole. So we have the results of our vote on the screen. We have Mr. Femi Akinsoya with a total count of 349 votes. Mr. Eddie Efetoha with 347 votes. Chief Agbola Akinola, 315. Mr. Erifolami Gafa, 32 votes. Mr. Olatunji Bamidele, 65 votes. Mr. Olagoke Samson Olusegun, 11 votes. Mr. Jani Musa Adekola, 13 votes. Mr. Adeshino Oladipo with 14 votes. Mr. Idowu, Moses Idowu with 7 votes. Mr. Saliu Mohammed Adebanjo, 9 votes. Mr. Okoaba Emmanuel Ifeanyi, 62 votes. Mr. Olubosun Banji, 25 votes. Mr. De Bayo Abayomi, 56 votes. Prince Reward Hamza, 10 votes. Mr. John Isesili, 6 votes. Mr. Akerele Olushola, 7 votes. Mrs. Odunuga Samut Adebanke, 16 votes. Mr. Adelakun Moshood Olarewaju, 8 votes. And Mr. Alaga Kolawole, 6 votes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, distinguished shareholders, and thank you also for your customary interest in electing members to represent shareholders in this very, very important committee. Well, the votes have been counted, and we now have the full list of the members of the Audit Committee for the current year 2025. In the persons of Mr. Femi Akinsoya, Mr. Eddie Ifekoha, and Mr. Bola Akinola. And then for the board, and the board will be represented by Reverend Oladele and Ms. Simon Hart, making the 5 membership of your audit committee. Thank you. Now we come to the special business section of the meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to especially thank you for your active participation in the voting process so far. We've concluded the ordinary business aspect of the meeting and now proceed to this special business section that requires special resolutions. The items here relates to the approval of the non-executive director's remuneration, approval of the company's expansion of the board to increase the number of directors to a maximum of 11, and to amend the articles of association of the company in alignment with the requirements of the NGX rulebook. The approval for special business proposals requires 75% in total of the votes cast in order for the resolutions to succeed. This transaction consists of 3 resolutions, and each shall be considered and voted on separately. The first is the non-executive director's remuneration. The next item on the agenda is to approve reviewed non-executive director's remuneration, and if approved, will be deemed to have come into effect on January 1st, 2025. This approval requires 2 resolutions. The first resolution relates to the board's chairman, while the second relates to the other non-executive directors. I crave your indulgence to take approval of the reviewed non-executive remuneration as a single resolution, unless there are any objections. And I have to say that the reviewed...
So, Tovia, why are you sending me the t-shirt sizes for whatever back? But have you guys submitted it? Please ask her, remind her. Hmm?
Yes, I was about to say that the reviewed levels come as a result of wide consultations to see where the industry is. And we are not at the top, but we've slightly increased the current levels. I hereby move the motion for the following resolutions. That the renewed board chairman's yes.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before going to the special resolution, that special business, that's number 10, the B under it to increase the board to 11. But my suggestion is some of directors, they've already used more than 10 years in the board, 4 of them. So what are we doing about this one? Because regard to the CAMA and regulator, after 10 years, you must retire. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you very much indeed. If only you can wait till the end of the meeting, you will see that indeed we are very much aware of not only that limitation, there are lots of prescriptions from the SEC, from the stock exchange, and from other regulators. So that particular point, speaking to the tenure on the board, you will see by the end of the meeting has in fact been resolved. By the end of the meeting, you will see that we now have term limits in accordance with the regulations. And in the past, we didn't for many, many reasons, including the fact that the board wanted to maintain the board in the last 2 or 3 years in order to see a successful listing, which is now well and truly behind us. So going forward, the term limits for board membership and other aspects of corporate governance, you will see, are being maintained. Thank you. I hereby move the motion for the following resolutions. A, that the reviewed board chairman's annual fee be increased from $55,000 to $68,750, and the sitting allowance from $3,100 to $2,625 from $2,100. That the reviewed non-executive director's annual fee be increased from $32,400 to $40,500 per annum, and sitting allowance from $1,100 to $1,375 per meeting. Will the shareholder kindly second this motion? Yeah.
Thank you, my honorable chairman. No better chair to chair this company than you. I know your credibility. Keep it up. Now, I second that motion based on the review that you have listed, and I so second. Thank you. Bami Shile. Bami Shile is the name. Thank you. AO.
Thank you. I call on the registrars to please conduct the voting process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on the screen. The timer is on. You may now cast your vote in support. If in support, press 1 on your keypad. If against, press 2 on your keypad, or 3 on the keypad to abstain. Thank you. The voting has ended. We have 372 shareholders, representing 96.36% in favor of this resolution, with a total holding of 2,182,376,398 units. And we have 11 shareholders who voted against this resolution, representing 3.59%, with a total holding of 81,311,325 units. And we have 4 shareholders with a holding of 1,045,914 units that represent 0.05% that abstained. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I declare the motion carried. Thank you. The next item on special business is the expansion of the board of directors of the company. This item relates to the approval to amend paragraph of the company's articles of association that restricts the number of directors of the board to 9 directors at any given time. I hereby move the following motion for consideration of the shareholders: that the articles of association of the company be hereby amended to state the following: that the board of the company shall consist of no more than 11 directors at any given time. Will the shareholder kindly second the motion?
Thank you very much, Chairman. The name is Venerable Supreme Evangelist Dr. Anthony Omojola. I do support that motion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on the screen. And the timer is on. You may now cast your vote. If in support of this resolution, press 1 on your voting pad. If against, press 2 or 3 to abstain. Thank you. The voting has ended, and we have 386 shareholders in support of this resolution, representing 99.96%, with a total holding of 2,344,979,151 units. And we have 3 shareholders who voted against this resolution, holding 7,462 units, and 3 shareholders who abstained from this resolution, representing 0.04%, with a total holding of 885,751 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I declare the motion carried. The next item is to amend the company's articles of association. The second item under this section is a proposal for the amendment of the company's articles of association in alignment with Appendix 7 of the NGX Rulebook 2015. I hereby move the motion for the approval of the following resolutions: that the company's articles of association be and hereby amended to include the following paragraphs to align with Appendix 7 of the NGX Rulebook 2015. 1. that fully paid shares shall be free from all liens except as otherwise prescribed by the operation of law. That the borrowing powers of directors are limited so that the aggregate amount at any time owing in respect of monies borrowed by the company and its subsidiary companies, exclusive of intercompany borrowings, shall not exceed a reasonable amount except with the consent of the company in general meeting. 3, that a director shall not vote on any contract, arrangement, or proposal in which he or she is interested, and if he or she does vote, the vote shall not be counted. 4, that the structure of the share capital of the company be stated, and where the capital consists of more than one class of security, it must also be stated how the various classes rank for any distribution by way of dividend or otherwise. 5, that where power is reserved to give notice by advertisement, such advertisement shall be inserted in at least 2 leading national daily newspapers. 6, that where it's provided that notices shall be given only to those members whose registered addresses are within Nigeria. Any member whose registered address is not within Nigeria may name an address within Nigeria, which for the purposes of notice shall be considered as a registered address. Will the shareholder kindly second the proposal? Let's have a lady. Madam.
My name is Gani Kudras Mosrayo. I saw you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on the screen. And the timer is on. Please cast your votes if in support of this resolution. Press 1 on your voting device if in support. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. The voting has ended. We have 380 shareholders who supported this resolution, representing 99.94%, with a total of 2,338,146,628 units. And we have 9 shareholders who voted against this resolution, representing 0.02%, with a total of 467,853 units. And we have 3 shareholders who abstained from this resolution, representing 0.04%, with a total holding of 891,934 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So I pronounce the resolution duly carried. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the business of our 30th annual general meeting. But before we draw this meeting to a close, I want to say that it is with immense unalloyed joy and sense of gratefulness, given what the company was when we started and where we are today, where we have now truly arrived and are now in the big league. This occasion marks a significant milestone for our company's journey, that eventually culminated in listing, and when we listed, it was as the listing of the year. We are all familiar with the journey of this company from when we started and how it has been led by management, staff with dedication and immense foresight. And it is with a deep sense of gratitude and fulfillment that I announce that this will be my last time presiding over the AGM as chairman. You know, what helps to build a great company and sustain a great company includes, of course, performance, operational excellence, but also corporate governance and various charters to regulate various aspects of the business, including board charters. In my view, none is greater than the one that addresses sustainability and succession. The company is now in a different phase. We have different challenges, and the company needs to be renewed continuously in order to ensure that we optimize performance. In a bid to continue to refresh the board, both myself and my erstwhile colleague, Chief Ede Osonyade, will be retiring from your board effective close of business today. Consequently, I want to take this opportunity to thank Chief Osonyade for his time and invaluable contributions to the board, which is evidenced by the many successes recorded by the company till date. I'd like to mention that the immediate succeeding chairman of your company is someone that is spectacularly qualified to lead the company. He's a man of great wisdom, vast experience, and has actually been serving on the board for some time. He will now step in immediately as the chairman of the board. Over the past several years, I've had the privilege, and it's been a privilege, of leading a team of very dedicated individuals who have worked tirelessly to steer Audit towards growth and success that we all as shareholders can testify to. Together, we've navigated through challenges, celebrated numerous achievements, and forged a path that has strengthened our position in the industry. As I said earlier, the challenges are many, but so are the opportunities. And in order to ensure that Audit is in the best position to take full advantage of the emerging opportunities, because having a glorious past is all very well and good, but what's even more important and what shareholders expect is that the present and the future would, at the very minimum, replicate and hopefully surpass the past. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our shareholders whose unwavering support and confidence have been instrumental in driving our success, as evidenced by the advice and questions that are posed at annual general meetings. Your belief in our vision and commitment to our mission has been a constant source of inspiration for me and the entire leadership team. And I have to say that I've served on a few boards in my time, but the board of your company that I've had the privilege of working with consists of some of the very, very most talented individuals with various skills. And again, the result that we've seen over the years is testimony to that fact. I'm incredibly proud of what has been accomplished together, and I'm confident that Aradale Holdings will continue to thrive under new leadership. The future holds great promise for our company, and I'm really excited to see the continued growth and innovation that lies ahead. I think, for example, we've all had the opportunity to listen to the reports from our CEO that tells us that we can confidently expect that the future will be even brighter than the past. Thank you once again for your trust, support, and dedication. It's been a great honor to serve as your chairman, and I look forward to witnessing the continued growth and success of Aradale Holdings PLC.
For he's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. I so say all of say to the Goza, 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 Goza.
Thank you. Thank you thank you very, very much indeed. And I'd like to close by saying a very big thank you to the management and staff of your company, because at the end of the day, they represent by far our most important asset, because they are the ones driving the business under circumstances that we all know from our private endeavors, under circumstances of very, very difficult terrain. So we shouldn't underestimate the task that they appear to be more than capable of handling. And I'm confident that we'll have a brighter future than even our brilliant past. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. I hereby declare the 30th AGM of Aradale Holdings PLC formally closed. Thank you.